Hey everyone, Adam Marino here with Gaming Trend, and we're here with Connor Dougan, the creative director for Madden 24. I've gotten to play a little bit of it. We're here to talk about some of the things that he's done with Madden 24, and first of all, franchise mode. I'm very excited to see what you guys got going on.
Yeah, you're a franchise. Avid franchise fan.
Yeah, I've played. Last year, I got all the way to 2037 in one of my leagues. So
really,
I play a lot of franchise.
You play solo, or
or
you play with others?
I'm not good enough at the game to play with others. I
really?
really play by myself because it's one of those games that I can do other things while I am playing it, so it gives me that dopamine rush of I'm playing a video game, I'm succeeding at something, or I'm failing at something, but I'm learning. But I can also be listening to an audiobook. I can be, helping with something else. So franchise has been very important to me. Every year you guys have gotten better and better at building the franchise mode and making it come back to where we saw it in 2011, 2012.
For sure.
And so this year, what are some of the things that you really wanted to focus on when it came to growing franchise as well as like keeping the fan base in mind?
Well, I mean, franchise is near and dear to my heart. One, I have obviously I work on franchise, but I play it.
Mm-hmm.
I play mostly in connected leagues, but I have a young son. I have two young sons, and my older of the youngest. He's a hardcore franchise player.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he just does fantasy drafts, plays through it, gives me feedback.
You've got your own personal feedback at home. That must be great.
But he's really polite about it. But yeah, which is surprising because he's not polite about anything. But anyway, so so when we talk about franchise, it's important. Our players are important to us, and franchise is when you think about Madden, when you think about the history of Madden. Franchise is critical and making that experience great. And so one of the first things we wanted to do, there's really three big things. One is find new ways for players to play, and that one thing is we reintroduced mini games. And so if you played past versions of Madden back in 05 or whatever, games like rushing attack, chase and tackle,
you've got the new
backfield
survival
where you catch a ball and you just kind of need to stay alive, and every, I believe, 10 to 20 seconds and additional players will run out and try to tackle you. So that stuff's a lot of fun. We have Coffin Corner, some different kicking games, over 25 new mini games. And what's cool about that is in franchise mode, we brought back training camp. So you're going to start your preseason in training camp. Good. You can pick a player, pick what drills or what mini games they can play, and based on how you perform, that's going to give your players more XP. And then once you get into the league, once you get into the start of the season or even preseason, you can train players on a weekly basis. In that weekly training. Yeah. So you remember, if you're familiar with franchise, last year you could have up to 3 players from the jump that you could do focus training on, and then up to 6 yes, because you're a skill tree person. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. So you have up to 6 focus players, and now you can basically go through the process of playing, making your focus players, going through the drills, and playing those. So that's one thing.
It's giving you more control over some of the XP while also honing in your skills.
Absolutely. And then the other piece is just kind of, and I don't want to say break up the monotony, but kind of switching the mode up a little bit, where it's it's not solely just playing and team building, just playing season games, and so it switches things up. And I think for me personally, that's a lot of fun. Although but I don't mind. It makes my franchise a little bit longer to get through a season, but you can always sim all that stuff anyway. But that's super exciting. So 25 new mini games. Use that to progress your player. Next, we have core fundamental improvements, and our fundamental improvements it's really cool because we talk to our community, and our community, we have obviously we have a vocal, passionate community of franchise players. And so we have this group of people that we call the design council. And the design council are like community members, and we meet with them multiple times a year, talk about what we want to build, near term, long term, and they help us prioritize our feature set. So some of the improvements we made on sort of like what we call like core franchise enhancements. Number one, let's start with trades.
Yes, because that's going to be a big new thing for people to be able to put together those packages.
Absolutely. So, trades obviously like a big fun thing for franchise players to do. So what we've done is we've added up to 6 slots, and what that means is you can essentially package up to 3 players and to a total of 6 draft picks to recreate any trade you want. And the reason we did that is, in the past we haven't always been able to be sort of Madden 23. We haven't really been able to recreate those real life packages that are happening now.
Those like Russell Wilson trade.
Yeah, like where it's multiple players, multiple draft picks. We didn't even have a system that could allow players to put those packages together. Now we do. We also allow you to trade up to 2 years in the future, or 3 years in the future, 2 more years of draft picks. And then we've revamped the actual draft and trade logic, which we needed to do because we have 6 slots. So there was a lot of work that was done there. And then, so that's trades. Then we have, let's talk about free agency next.
Yeah.
So last year we did a lot of work with player motivation.
It was a huge increase from 22 to 23 when it came to free agency last year.
And I think we're super proud about what we did there, but I think it needed. There's always room for improvement.
Yeah.
And so one
Great
of the
way
things,
of thinking about
that. One of the things we focused on was contract restructuring. So the reason it's a core community request, and it's an authentic thing that teams do to keep their key players and to manage their roster better. So we added that. Secondly, we added the 5th-year option into the re-sign flow.
Nice.
And then thirdly, we did a lot of work on the AI side to ensure that when you're playing your solo leagues, that computer teams or CPU teams or AI-controlled teams would use these features. So in the past, like you'd see players kind of maybe leave their team, CPU players leave their team, like star players, when in real world they would never let that player go.
I remember there being last year, it was I think 2028 or 2029, and all of a sudden Najee Harris is available in free agency right after his 5th-year option was picked up, and you're like, he's breaking records. Why would the Steelers let this guy go?
Right.
And it's just like, it didn't make sense. But
it's a bit of an immersion breaker for sure. But now that we have contract restructuring, the proper usage of 5th-year option, and then the AI for all the teams to support it, we want to give our players the tools to really, ensure that as a person controlling a team, they have the tools to keep their core together for the future. And then when they're playing in the league versus, the other teams in that league, if they're AI controlled, that they do the same thing, and it keeps it as authentic as possible and as fresh as possible. Next, we have...
There's a lot to this game, guys. They've done a lot of work, especially in franchise mode. Okay, let's get that.
Next, we have what we've done with our talent trees, our staff trees. So we've added a 3rd tree to every single staff type. So head coaches, offensive and defensive coordinators. We have up to 24 new coordinators are now position gurus. So like if you're a specific, let's say I'm controlling the Chiefs or playing as the Chiefs, I don't need that quarterback guru. I'm set.
Yeah, you're set on quarterback.
Yeah, but maybe I want to work on my offensive line. So I got to hire a position guru to help grow my offensive line.
Create that immersion even more.
Yeah,
with your gameplay.
And then just having enough coaches and variety of position specialists to help players kind of create the team that they want to create, whereas a little bit limited in the past. And now there's just new cool options for different talents.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Next, can I keep going? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. So Next up, we have new draft generators, and somebody who likes to go deep into franchise
You're
modes.
gonna really like it.
Yeah. So we have new draft generators, and what a draft generator is new types of rookies that can come into your league. So some of the cool stuff we've done there is created new generational talent. So for all positions, so you now you have generational tight ends, safeties, even punters. The next thing we did is expanded our 99 club, and what that means is you can find these gems where they'll have. You might find a 99 running back with a 99 break tackle, or a wide receiver with a 99 juke move, or a linebacker with a 99 hit power.
As rookies?
Yeah.
Wow.
Or the potential to get to
to
there. And then the third piece, which is really cool, is we have new essentially generators that allow us to recreate some of the like legendary players of the past. So you might find.
Gotcha.
William Refrigerator Perry type player.
So little, almost like Easter eggs. Of like, hey,
Or
there's
like
this
Harold,
player. Keep a look on.
Yeah, or like Harold Carmichael, like a 6'9" wide receiver, or a Mike Allstott type.
Yeah.
And then lastly, when it comes to draft generators, we have out of position players. So like players like Terrell Pryor, so he might be good at one position, but you could see these ratings.
The traits could make him a better, another wide receiver.
Yeah, totally. Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now here's something that I don't know how many people are like this is their focus, but I really enjoyed the relocation aspect.
Yeah.
Could you give me a little detail as to some of the changes that you guys have made? Because you made changes even to the relocation aspects.
100%.
When it comes to what teams you can choose, where you can choose, the countries you can go to.
Yeah. So in terms of relocation, so one of the things we know customization is near and dear to our heart, and it's or to our franchise players' hearts, and that like relocation's been in the game for a minute now, and this year we've revamped all of the uniforms, so when you get a chance to check those out, they look sick. There's 32 all new uniforms.
Wow.
3 variations, home, away, alternate. You can mix and match. There's multiple new cities. I don't want to give you an exact number because I don't know, but it's around 20 or so new cities, new logo options. And then the other thing I forgot to mention is we've relocations always existed in owner.
Yeah.
Now we've moved it to coach mode, and we wanted to give our players more sort of flexibility and creativity within the mode. So we allow them to relocate their team at any time.
Including the first year?
Yeah, right away.
Wow, okay.
Just to get them, off into the races, because it's an important part of customization.
Yeah.
And so we're super excited about just like the new content and just like the flexibility, and like if I play in my connected franchise with some of my EA partners, it's going to be crazy to see where we can move, like who's moving where,
and who's doing what, and what everybody chooses.
Yeah.
Now, so the NFL is getting more international. Could you give me some examples maybe of countries that, because I believe last year we had London, we had Mexico City, and that was kind of it, other than we had Ontario and stuff like
Toronto.
That.
Yeah, there's a few more. Let me get you some definitive, because I don't know off the top which new countries are like fully locked in yet.
We'll have that in the description.
Yes, and I'll get you a definitive list of
I'm just so excited. You clearly guys have put so much love into trying to make franchise back to how exciting it was way back in the day. But you can see the love that's being put in, and the fact that you guys are so committed to listening to your fan base and your community. And I think that's where things have kind of shifted, is you guys are so willing to just listen and like understand, okay, cool, this was the intention, but people are not maybe using it in the way we expected, or they're not seeing it the way we initially expected, and you guys are pivoting or moving or like changing things in a different direction. I think that's such a cool thing to see. Every year you guys are taking more and more steps forward.
I mean, we're excited about franchise. Like when we think about us, the Madden team as developers, we're player first, and we need to listen to our players, and obviously, like I mentioned before, franchise is a huge part of Madden, and our goal is to create the best franchise possible. And by no means are we done with the investment in franchise, but we're super happy about what we've been able to deliver for 24.
Something else, and we'll wrap it up, that I really appreciated was your very clearly basing everything on timelines. So it's not just, we figured out this one thing that the fan base wanted, we're done. It's, we've got a 3-year plan.
100%.
For changing free agency, for changing drafts, for upgrading this and upgrading that. And I think that's such a big deal, is there is a plan for the future, even with stuff like franchise mode, where it's, sometimes people can think it's stuck.
Yeah.
But like the fact that every single year you guys are pushing forward and making new content and allowing more control, even with commissioner tools, that's something we didn't get to talk about, but the commissioner tool list has expanded even then.
Yeah,
so
100%.
You're doing connected franchise modes with your friends, you're going to have even more control.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I appreciate you saying that and recognizing that, like you see it, that like we're committed to making franchise awesome. It's not going to stop anytime soon, and I just hope people are super excited about picking up and playing Madden 24 and playing franchise.
Connor, we appreciate your time. Thank you so very much. And you guys can all check out Madden 24 coming very soon.